In 1917, the U.S. Radium Corporation developed a radium-based paint that illuminated clock and watch faces. Female factory workers painted these watches by wetting the used brushes with their lips, ingesting radium on a daily basis. Over time, these women developed symptoms like anemia and bone fractures. Although their employers fought the workers' lawsuits and discredited their accusations by blaming their deaths on syphilis, let's take a look at what was really happening. Radium isn't the most stable atom to ingest because its large nucleus makes it difficult for strong nuclear forces to overcome the proton's repulsion and bind the nucleus together. To increase its stability and decrease its mass, radium-226's nucleus must decay, or release energy by emitting waves and/or particles. Radium-226 primarily emits alpha particles as it decays, which are atoms with 2 protons and 2 neutrons, like helium. Throughout its decay process, radium also emits beta particles, which are electrons. Because these 2 particles have positive and negative charges respectively, if they were to pass through a magnetic field, they would travel in different directions. Finally, radium emits gamma rays, which are waves with no mass or charge, so they would pass straight through a magnetic field. Like light and sound waves, gamma rays radiate outward in all directions, so the intensity of the gamma rays decreases by the radius squared. Alpha particles, with their higher masses, can be stopped by materials as thin as a sheet of paper as they radiate outward, while beta particles can be stopped by 1 millimeter of aluminum foil, and gamma rays can be partially stopped by thick lead. This leads us to part 2. Despite the alpha particles' low penetration depth in the majority of materials, the particles entered the women's bodies due to direct ingestion. As the charged alpha and beta particles interacted with the body, they either attracted or repelled electrons from normally functioning atoms, creating ions. Exposure to just one alpha or beta particle can create over 1,000 of these ionizations. These ions can interfere with the structure of atoms and molecules, or even DNA. If a cell's DNA is damaged by this radiation-induced oxidative stress, the proteins that it codes for could also be mutated, resulting in the cell's death or the replication of more defective cells, which can lead to cancer, nausea, and fatigue, which was the case of the Radium Girls. Also, because different types of material absorb different amounts of radiation, bone absorbs more gamma rays than flesh, which explains the woman's characteristic disintegrating jaws. Although the harmful effects of radiation plagued them for the rest of their lives, the Radium Girls continued fighting back and eventually won their court cases. The study of the effects of radiation allowed modern medicine to harness its power for good, using radiation to kill cancerous cells. Therefore, despite its dark past, radiation continues to play a critical role in our survival.